Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. So in this episode we are looking to rescue two Kerbals from space. We're looking for Vernier and Tammy, I think it is. So this is our Kerbal orbit rescue craft. We've got some pretty standard solid boosters to get us off the pad and a liquid stage to get us up into orbit. There's then another stage to control ourselves in our orbit. Got plenty of RCS on board because we're going to be doing a lot of maneuvers when we're up there. So we'll have a look here. Because we're getting two, we can't just take on the larger cockpit. So we've taken the big transporter unit for our Kerbals when we're up there. The problem is we're going to try and launch here, and we are a wee bit overweight for the limit on the launch pad. Now I do have a decent amount of money, so we could upgrade the launch pad as an option. We can afford it, but only just 262. We got 341. It's only going to leave us with about 80,000, 80 grand, which is not an awful lot. And we'd still have enough after paying for this craft, but we're only a wee bit over. So what we will try and do is just save a bit of weight. No, we kind of need those because we're going to be doing lots of manoeuvring when we are in orbit to try and rescue these two Kerbals. They're on different crafts, so we're going to need to rendezvous twice. So we do kind of need that, and we're probably going to need that fuel as well. But what we might not need is as much fuel in our to-orbit stage. So we'll take this full tank, and we will get ourselves a smaller version. The half-size one. And get it in there. Put the engine back on and get these fins. No, we need to put that back. We need to put that away and get new fins for stability, and that's all good. And we're good. Yeah, maybe move this up a wee bit now, which is. It's always annoying once you've got something in place and then you have to reposition it, and then you're like, oh, I can't get it back in the right place. But that looks okay, I think. Our fin's good. Now there is actually a fatal flaw in this craft design, so bonus points if you have noticed it. If not, keep watching to the end of the episode and you will find out what it is. Now we are picking up two Kerbals, but we've got space for four, so why don't we take a couple of extra ones along with us for the ride to get some experience? Because yay for experienced Kerbals. Kerbals, even. Kerbals are their name, but they are Kerbals. Okay, we are now good, so we will go to launch. So throughout the video I have sped it up in various places just for the sake of editing and keeping this video short. The actual recording of this whole episode was over 4 hours long, so I've done a wee bit of fast forwarding for you to keep it under half an hour. Our first launch also was kind of disastrous. We're kind of getting to once these solid boosters expired, they've got parachutes on the top of them to kind of help recover them. And in the previous launch I hadn't staged the main thruster to come on at the same time, so when those solid boosters came off they didn't go away quite so quickly and actually knocked off the thruster as they passed and then their parachutes opened. So that was a bit disastrous, but this time round we went okay. We're already way high, probably much higher than I would want it to have been before making a turn. In fact, yeah, let's just put it sideways and try and get ourselves in orbit here. I did kind of flukily just kind of line up where our first rendezvous was going to be before launching, but it was pretty much by fluke. So right now we're just trying to get ourselves into a circular orbit. We'll just go from grade and that should just bring us round. Starting to bleed it out now, so we're actually a wee bit behind Furnace Heap. We kind of wanted to be a bit further ahead. So what we're going to do is hit a lower orbit so that we can catch up with them. And here's our orbit. Oh, we just need a stage, and there we go. There's our orbit. Quite low, but we'll just pitch up a wee bit, and it's not quite. We're kind of off one way compared to our planned orbit, but it's alright. We are still cutting below, I think, for the most part. What we'll do is we'll bring it down a wee bit further, maybe at the periapsis rather than the apoapsis. Right, oh yeah, that's it. Just kind of match up the two closer to each other, and then what we'll do here is then pitch back so that we're more in line. Let's go ahead and warp forward. Still one of my most favourite additional features since I originally played it, is this warp to next maneuver. Just coming up to this maneuver. So yeah, what I've done here is the time frame just now is kind of real time. And once we've got a decent orbit, which we will have after the next maneuver, there's a lot of waiting for our craft to catch up with our target one, because the launch wasn't quite as well planned as it probably should have been. So what we're going to do here is bring our apoapsis down as well, so that we are in line with our target. It's been ages since I've actually done one of these missions before I completed this one. And going from not having picked up someone stranded in space for a while to trying to pick up two people stranded in space at the same time was a nice wee challenge. So at this point I'm speeding the recording up greatly. I think I actually went off and did some housework at this point because it was going to be a long time before we caught up. And you can see the two kind of target pins there just at the right hand side. We're just about to go past them now, and they move every time we go past, so we've got to wait until they move close enough to each other that we're actually doing a rendezvous. We're on such a low orbit that it was maybe a bit risky to try and go any lower. You can see here this intersect. I'll just zoom in a wee bit, that makes it a bit clearer. So that's like we're doing a double intersect in one go. You can see that's the step closer there that time. So yeah, I think for that first zoom around, I hadn't actually sped it up in the game. I'd left it going real time. But now I'm very clearly back at the console, and we're now getting close enough to consider making the maneuver to a rendezvous. So what we're doing now is we're trying to make a plan for that rendezvous. Trying to see where the best place is to make a maneuver, or whether we just kind of wait until we catch up. The flight engineer mod and panel is immensely useful for rendezvous, including the switch to target button, which I think I forget all about during the first pickup. So I'm just tweaking the thrust here, just kind of eyeballing, getting this separation down. Looking for, 2 kilometers-ish. Still got tons of fuel. And once we get really close, we can tweak using RCS. So let's just eke this down as far as we can, basically, until the numbers stop getting smaller. Kilometers is going to be good. It is happening rather quickly though. And just want to kind of negate the offset of speed now that we are as close as really we're going to get, and then we can just kind of fine tune it. Just never letting the speed get away from you, because that can be disastrous. You can be kind of as close as 100 meters and then they shoot past you. And yeah, like I was saying, I've forgotten that there's a switch to target button on the rendezvous panel there, and like I said, it's been a while since I've done these missions, so I think I completely forgot how to actually switch, and then I think it dawns upon me to go to the map. I'm just letting it get a bit closer. 30 meters, up 30 meters, it's good, it's all good. Excellent. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to switch to Fernie's Heap and consider it. The only thing is though that we're still a bit of a differential in the speed, so we switch back and kill off the speed difference. Get it right down. Switch back, and we will EVA. And hop, skip, and a jump over. Here we go. Jetpack on. Bit of a sideways maneuver over here. And hopefully in we go. Up we go. Doors up there. I think we're actually underneath right now. Yep. Lack of depth perception there. It's also very easy to accidentally hit the wrong key using the jetpack boosters, and you end up flying off in the wrong direction, hoping that you don't run out of wee jetpack fuel before you get back to the ship. So we're just coming in. Hopefully I'm going to grab a hold. There we go. Grab, and in we go. And there we have a Fernary heap contract completed. And that's one Kerbal rescued. So now we just need to go find the other one. And rescue that poor sod too. There he is, just round the other side. Dansby's shipwreck. Okay, now that's set as target, we will need to go and catch up with it. So as before, we are already kind of on a trajectory that is lower than his orbit. So it's just going to be a case of waiting until we catch up. So just checking to see what the best plan of action here is. But I think it's just going to be a case of fast forward and wait until we are close enough to make a rendezvous. Fenrir's heap, you can see just there, drifting off into the distance. You can see a bit of separation between the two there. So we're just fast forwarding this. Basically taking an orbit warp at a time. Keep track if you can. Okay, so it looks like we're now getting close. It's about 20. I think it was 20 kilometers. There's 20, so that's about. Just trying to tweak it until we're getting closer. Oh. No, that's what we're doing there. That's about as close as get from here. 15 kilometers. It's not great, but it's a starting point. Alright, we're starting to home in now. That's less than 10 kilometers. There we go, let's put some brakes on. 4.5 kilometers, that's good. Just need to start to balance the speed out. There we go, just eking down the distance. Less than a kilometer, right. look at that. Parking right beside it. Reduce the speed nicely. 50 meters. Our speed's low enough so that even if we bumped in, there's not going to be anything catastrophe. No sorts of catastrophe happening. There we go, I remembered the button was this time. And here we go on an EVA. We're over there. Jump off, get the rockets, and I always feel like saying swimming across, because it's kind of like that. Floating across in space. Just taking it nice and easy. There's the door there. Wee shadow helps this time. Gently does it. There we go. Grab it. Climb up the ladder. And in we go. Huzzah. Dansby has been added to the crew. Here we have a 5-man crew. All that's left now is to return home. And this is the point where you don't want things to go wrong. You've spent all the effort getting up here, rescuing a couple guys. The worst thing that could happen now would be a burn up on re-entry, or a parachute failure, or just bad things. So we're going to spend the rest of the fuel just to get us down through the atmosphere as quick as possible. And also to come down in the light side so that we can see what we're doing. And here we go, picturesque re-entry. Sunrise, view of the moon, and we are aiming for as close as possible to Kerbal spaceport for our landing. Now, for the sake of honesty, I did have to reattempt the landing. We came in too hot, too fast through the atmosphere twice, and the parachutes got annihilated. So this time, as we come in, we are going to try facing retrograde and using what's left of that fuel to slow us down. That means that we're going to probably miss the spaceport. but we will get home in one piece. A little bit of fuel left. Parachutes deployed. And pretty much plain sailing from now. And just a bit there. Splashdown. Successfully retrieved 2 standard Kerbals. A little bit of science. Mission complete. Well, thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the videos if you enjoyed them and want to see some more. And I will see you in the next one.